Cancer Horoscope, the impact of retrograde Saturn from August 23rd, 2025 to February 13th, 2026. Welcome, dear Cancer. Today we'll take a deep dive into a powerful astrological influence that's heading your way, the retrograde motion of Saturn beginning on August 23rd, 2025, and continuing until February 13th, 2026. During this time, Saturn, the planet of karma, responsibility, and structure, will move backward into your 8th house, also known as the house of transformation, loss, and deep inner work. This retrograde journey isn't about fear, it's about opportunity. It's a cosmic invitation to review, revisit, and reconstruct major parts of your life, especially in terms of work, finances, emotional resilience, and deep-rooted connections. Let's break this down into key areas so you can understand what to expect and how to thrive during this significant period. 1. Career and personal transformation. Resurrecting the past for future growth. One of the clearest effects of this retrograde will be seen in your career and your inner identity. When Saturn moves backward into your 8th house, it tends to bring unresolved tasks from the past back into focus. Think back. Was there a project, collaboration, or ambition that got shelved due to bad timing or lack of resources? Saturn retrograde is now pressing the cosmic resume button. Example: let's say you once started a side business selling handmade wellness products but abandoned it due to a full-time job. During this period, you may find that customers or old partners suddenly reach out, asking if you're still making those items. A chance conversation with an old friend might lead you to relaunch the project, but now with a more strategic, Saturn-approved long-term plan. Likewise, this is an excellent time to reconnect with past clients or collaborators. Old employers may get back in touch, offering opportunities you didn't expect. These aren't coincidences, they're part of Saturn's test. How well can you manage karmic cycles and responsibilities that have come full circle? 2. Revisiting old relationships. Love, loss, and karmic closure. Saturn in the 8th house often brings up deep, often unspoken emotional matters. This includes romantic relationships, especially those that ended without proper closure. You may find yourself thinking about a past relationship, or even receiving a message from an old flame. Saturn isn't about rekindling romance for fun. It wants you to face the truth, whether it's healing from what was lost, forgiving what hurt, or understanding how you've grown. Example: imagine you ended a long-term relationship 2 years ago and never fully processed the grief. During this Saturn retrograde, you might dream about that person, see their photo unexpectedly, or feel a sudden pull to write a message, not to rekindle, but to resolve. Sometimes, these connections do come back into our lives with more maturity. In other cases, Saturn helps you cut ties more cleanly, so you can move forward without lingering pain. Be mindful. Not every relationship return is meant to be permanent. Some are just the universe's way of closing karmic loops. 3. Financial karma, debts, windfalls, and inherited resources. Now let's talk about money. The 8th house is associated with shared resources, inheritances, insurance, and sometimes sudden gains or losses. With Saturn retrograde here, it's time to tighten up your financial ship. Unexpected opportunities may arise, but they will come with responsibility. You may receive a financial settlement, inheritance, or insurance payout, but you'll need to handle it wisely. Saturn never gives without expecting accountability. Example: suppose you've been waiting on a legal settlement for a car accident or workplace issue. It could finally be processed during this time. However, you'll also need to manage the money carefully, as Saturn could test your discipline by throwing unexpected expenses your way. This is also a good time to revisit financial agreements. If you owe someone money, or someone owes you, expect those matters to resurface. Saturn is asking, have you been responsible with what you've borrowed or shared? 4. House repairs, vehicle expenses, and practical concerns. Cancers tend to be homebodies, and this retrograde will bring your attention back to your physical environment, especially if you've been neglecting repairs or avoiding necessary upgrades. Saturn and Rahu together in your 8th house may create situations that force you to deal with material issues head-on. That leaky faucet you ignored for months? The check engine light you thought would go away? This period might bring them to a boiling point. Example: let's say you recently bought a used car that's been giving you small issues. During Saturn retrograde, those small issues may evolve into something major that requires investment. You may not like the timing, but this is Saturn reminding you to maintain what you own. Take this as a sign to reevaluate what you invest your money into. Focus on long-term value over short-term pleasure. 5. Health and emotional resilience. Confronting the past, strengthening the present. One of the most important aspects of this transit is your physical and emotional well-being. Saturn retrograde through the 8th house can bring back unresolved health issues, especially chronic conditions or past injuries. You may also become more involved in caring for a family member's health. Emotionally, this is a time of spiritual reckoning. You're being invited to look beneath the surface of your life and confront what's been buried. This could be unresolved grief, guilt, shame, or fear that's been weighing you down. Example: you might find yourself drawn to therapy, journaling, or meditation during this time, not as a trend, but as a necessary act of emotional survival. For instance, if you've been suffering from anxiety due to family issues you never addressed, this retrograde will help you explore the roots of that pain and begin the healing process. Saturn rewards those who work through discomfort. If you face your shadows during this retrograde, you will come out stronger, wiser, and more in control of your life. 6. Legal matters, secrets, and hidden power dynamics. With Saturn and Rahu forming a strong karmic pair in your 8th house, expect certain secrets to come to light, especially those involving power, control, or deception. If you've been involved in legal issues, or if there are family matters involving shared assets like property disputes or inheritance, they may resurface now. This isn't about punishment, it's about resolution. Saturn wants balance. Example: suppose there's been a quiet dispute over family land. During this period, documents may need reviewing, or a court may set a date to finalize ownership. This will require patience, responsibility, and emotional detachment, not something Cancers always find easy. But trust that Saturn's slow, structured approach ensures long-term fairness. 7. Love and relationship warnings. Avoid idealizing the past. With all these intense shifts, your romantic relationships may go through a trial. Saturn retrograde may prompt you to compare your current partner with someone from your past. Be careful. Memories can be tinted with nostalgia. Instead of idealizing what once was, ask yourself, what have I learned about myself since then? What do I need now? Your relationships will thrive if built on transparency and mutual growth. Example: if you're dating someone new but keep thinking about how an ex understood you better, pause. Are you projecting an ideal, or are you avoiding vulnerability with your current partner? Saturn is here to make you mature in love by showing you the difference between fantasy and commitment. 8. The hidden blessing. Power through surrender. While this transit may feel intense, it's actually empowering. The 8th house, though feared, is the house of transformation. Saturn here forces you to let go of what no longer serves you, old attachments, false identities, and shaky foundations. In doing so, you make space for rebirth. Example: you might lose a business deal, but that space could allow a more aligned partner to enter. You might say goodbye to someone emotionally, but gain clarity on your boundaries and future. Remember, Saturn doesn't take to punish. It takes to prepare you for what you truly deserve. Final tips for navigating Saturn retrograde in your 8th house. 1. Review. Don't rush. Go back to unfinished work or ideas from the past and finish them properly. 2. Pay your dues. Resolve debts, emotional, financial, and karmic. 3. Be responsible. Saturn respects discipline and structure. The more you plan, the more protected you are. 4. Protect your energy. Don't get entangled in drama or toxic connections from the past. 5. Embrace emotional detox. Use this time for therapy, journaling, spiritual work, or ancestral healing. 6. Don't fear endings. Every ending is making space for a better beginning. In summary, from August 23rd, 2025 to February 13th, 2026, Saturn retrograde in your 8th house is not here to destroy your world. It's here to rebuild it from the ground up. You'll be asked to face past shadows, repair old systems, reconnect with lost parts of yourself, and most importantly, transform. This is a time for maturity, depth, and karmic balancing. But if you embrace the challenge, Cancer, you'll emerge wiser, emotionally stronger, and better aligned with your soul's true direction.